Some parents walked into court thinking they had the perfect story. But the moment the judge started asking questions, the truth began to fall apart. Watch closely, because in these cases, the lies didn't last long.
Miss Pearson, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, we had been together for a really long time. About 4 years ago, we decided to adopt a child, and she broke up with me about 4 years ago. About 2 years ago, and stopped paying child support. And so I have had...
Let her finish. You will have your opportunity to speak.
Okay.
Okay. I can roll my eyes too. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
She never sees our daughter, and recently she just changed jobs. She was making a lot of money, and she just dropped jobs so that, because right when I started talking to her about child support, she changed jobs because she wanted to make sure that she wasn't ever going to have to pay anything more than what
Okay,
she...
ma'am, where do you used to work?
I was a teacher.
Alright guys, brace yourselves for what's about to unfold in this courtroom. What starts as a child support case quickly turns into a much bigger conversation about responsibility and accountability. These two women adopted a child together, but after their relationship ended, one parent claims the other completely stopped providing financial support. And the twist? The accusation is that the defendant actually changed jobs and took a much lower salary just to avoid paying higher child support. Now, if that sounds unbelievable, wait until the judge starts asking questions and the financial details begin to unravel.
Okay. How much were you making as a teacher?
Oh, I think around 40,000.
Are you sure about that?
Well,
Because based on the paperwork that you provided, your teacher's salary was $55,000 a year.
well, that doesn't include what I put into profit sharing.
Is that true or not?
55?
$55,000. Your documents are correct, right?
Okay, that's probably true.
Okay. It's not a probably.
That's
You
true.
submitted it. Thank you.
Okay.
Working there now.
Well, I'm working at a store as a clerk, and I'm making 30,000 a year now.
Okay. And you said you're a teacher, so
Yes.
what type of degrees do you have for that?
I have a degree in economics,
Okay. You have one degree or you have multiple degrees?
Well, and I have my master's in accounting.
You have a master's in accounting and you're working?
Yes.
Ma'am, you have a master's degree.
Yes,
Did-
but I don't have to make all that money
No, you.
if I'm just going to give it all away anyway.
So let me get something straight. She's deliberately, what you're saying is she's deliberately working at this retail job. Now I get it.
I can do
You know,
any job I want.
You know what?
This is the moment where the judge starts uncovering something that courts take very seriously. The paperwork shows the defendant previously earned about $55,000 a year as a teacher, but now she's working a retail job making around $30,000. In family law, this raises the issue of intentional underemployment, when someone deliberately lowers their income to reduce child support payments. And if a judge believes that's happening, they don't have to base child support on the lower salary. Instead, they can calculate it using what the parent is capable of earning, not what they choose to earn.
Your character is not looking very cute to me at all because you have tried to misrepresent to me what is really going on in this case. You stopped working as a teacher so you would not have to pay that higher amount in child support. Is that not the case?
Well,
Is that not?
and I just thought I was paying enough.
No.
And when I talk to my daughter, she loves me more anyway, and she should come live with me. And I know that's not a matter for this court.
Right. That's definitely not a matter for what we're here on today because based on the child lives with her, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you're not providing any type of financial support anymore, correct?
I provide emotional support all the time. The child.
You know what? That is not, you know, you.
Now, watch how quickly the tone in the courtroom shifts. The defendant tries to explain that she didn't want to keep making higher income if it was just going to go toward child support, but that statement actually makes the situation worse legally. Child support isn't about what a parent feels like paying, it's about what the child needs. When the judge hears that someone with a master's degree in accounting voluntarily left a professional career to work retail right when support becomes an issue, it raises a huge red flag that the decision may have been strategic.
Cannot quantify emotional support. Stop it. I'm just going to go on with what I need to do because you obviously came here to play games today.
No, my baby
yes,
loves me.
you did.
She loves me more
and your
than
baby
she loves
needs
her.
money. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
me.
Your baby needs money, and you want to do what's in her best interest. So what I'm going to do, how long ago did she stop working as a teacher?
6 months ago.
6 months ago?
Yeah.
No, ma'am. Your child support is going to be set at that $55,000 because
What?
it sounds like you are intentionally underemployed, so you do not have to pay a higher amount in child support, and that is ridiculous because you're not cheating her, you're cheating your child. I have your gross at $4,583.33. Is there a reason your mouth is open? Do you need some water?
I just can't believe you're being so mean.
Oh, I'm not being mean at all, ma'am. You, on the other hand, are being mean. You deliberately stopped working. You have a master's degree, and you went to a retail store so you would not have to pay for your...
Here comes the key legal turning point in this case. The judge decides to calculate child support using imputed income, which means she bases the payment on the defendant's previous salary as a teacher rather than the lower retail income. Courts use this tool when they believe a parent intentionally reduced their income to avoid paying support. And the judge makes it crystal clear. Lowering your income doesn't eliminate your responsibility. In the court's eyes, the child still deserves the financial support they would have received if that parent continued working at their true earning potential.
Well,
Ma'am, where do you work?
I work for the airlines.
Okay.
And the $1,200 is for me and the child.
Okay.
The child portion is $400.
Okay, I'm
That's
seeing that.
ridiculous,
I'm seeing
isn't
that.
it?
No,
That
it's
can't be
ridiculous that you're not paying. But guess what? You're getting ready to pay now, and you're going to repay whatever the amount is for the child. Well, $400.
She doesn't even love our daughter. She loves her 4 cats
Ma'am.
more than our daughter.
The two of you will address me, and that is not an issue for this court. Nobody cares about what's going on with the cats. We care about
Okay.
what's going on with the child. No offense to your cats. That's not what I mean. I mean in terms of calculating this child support. So, health insurance, you're going to be responsible for reimbursing that. So I have your child support obligation at $758.90 plus $58.90.
Am I paying the whole $400 a month, or is she paying any of it?
Did you hear me put you on a payment plan for that? If you didn't, you're paying the full amount, $1,158.90. And I need you to close your mouth. 'Cause I just don't understand why you're looking so confused right now. Child support is based on the calculation. Okay? Is there...
What makes this moment even more intense is the defendant's argument that she provides emotional support instead of financial support. But the judge immediately shuts that down, explaining something many people misunderstand about family court. Emotional support is important, but it does not replace financial responsibility. Raising a child involves real expenses: housing, healthcare, clothing, and daily needs. That's why the judge calculates the final obligation to include both child support and health insurance reimbursement, bringing the monthly total to over $1,100.
Anything further?
I'm not making that much anymore.
Well, but you just testify, right?
Right.
That you intentionally are working at a lower paying job, right?
Right.
Okay, so I have the discretion to set your child support at that same amount that you were making make more than what you're currently making as a clerk.
Well,
If
I
there's
didn't know
nothing,
that.
well, you know now. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Well, can you make her come see the baby, our child?
I can't make her, but ma'am, please go visit with the child. Do not. Are you mad at the cats? I mean, don't punish the
I don't wanna be
child.
around the cats. Can you put the cats away when
Yes.
I come?
Ma'am,
It's
put the
so long.
cats away so she can
Yes,
come visit with the
Then
yes.
I'll
child.
come visit.
Thank you. You all are
It's
dismissed.
sad. It's sad.
So in the end, the judge's decision sends a very clear message. Even though the defendant now works a lower paying job, the court looks at her education, past salary, and the timing of the job change. Because of that, the judge sets the child support amount based on the higher income she previously earned. The lesson here is simple. Courts focus on the best interest of the child, not on whether a parent tries to reduce their income to avoid payments. But what do you think about this ruling? Was the judge fair? Or should parents have the freedom to change careers without legal consequences?
Okay. Miss Ghost, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
You brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, we have a 1-year-old daughter named Alexis Ray. We're not together anymore. We were married for 2 years. We divorced because I like women. And so, girl. So that's basically.
Okay. So you all divorced, have a 1-year-old.
Yes, ma'am.
And you want him to pay child support.
Yes.
Your Honor, I don't have a problem paying child support, but, she did leave me for somebody else. She cheated on me.
Alright everyone, this case might look simple at first glance. A mother asking the court to order child support for her 1-year-old daughter. But as the judge starts asking questions, the situation becomes far more complicated. The father says he's willing to support his child, but claims the relationship ended because she cheated. The mother says he barely helps with the child. What begins as a routine financial hearing slowly turns into a tense courtroom exchange filled with accusations, contradictions, and a surprise revelation that no one in the room expected.
Well, according to the documents you provided, you made $18 an hour, not $16.
Oh.
Oh. So
He's
you
also
don't
a
know how
liar,
much you
Your
made?
Honor.
No, ma'am, I was mistaken. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all made the perfect couple. You're the liar, she's the cheater.
Well, that's semantics right there. That's the particulars. He lied. I didn't cheat on him.
Okay, well, we already
I told you he was a liar.
Well, you didn't even have to tell me that.
You knew
told me.
that, right?
I don't know how you do
So,
it every single time.
What are you?
What I don't need you all to do is address each other. You all
Yes,
will
ma'am.
address me. There's obviously a reason that you're no longer married, okay?
This moment is important because the judge immediately catches a discrepancy in the father's income. He initially says he earns $16 an hour, but the paperwork he submitted shows $18 an hour. In family court, income accuracy is crucial because child support payments are calculated directly from a parent's earnings. Even small changes in reported income can significantly affect the final support amount. When the judge points this out, it raises questions about credibility. Was this simply a mistake, or was he trying to lower the amount he might have to pay?
Because he's a cheater.
No, because you guys were the perfect storm is why you guys are not married anymore. Now, in terms of health care, who pays it for this child?
He pays it.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, she's
on his Medicaid.
Okay, so wait a minute. The child lives with you, but
Yes, ma'am.
and the child is on Medicaid.
Yes, ma'am.
So, are you paying Medicaid yet?
Yes, ma'am. I am paying for the child's health care right now.
Okay. So you guys understand that Medicaid is not health insurance, right?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that is health. It's not health insurance per se in terms of a private carrier. The service is through the state of Texas. So that money does have to be repaid to the state. You're not paying health insurance to her. You understand that, right? Or you didn't understand?
I
'Cause you're looking real
understand. I
confused.
understand that now, ma'am.
You understand it now? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you understand.
Here, the judge does something many family court judges often have to do: shut down emotional arguments and bring the focus back to the law. The couple starts arguing about cheating and relationship drama, but legally, those issues don't determine child support. What matters to the court is the child's well-being and financial stability. The judge also explains an important point about Medicaid. Even though the child receives medical assistance through the state, those costs can still be reimbursed through child support orders, meaning the father may ultimately be responsible for helping repay the state.
You understand that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You looked real depressed just then. Did I say something wrong?
No, ma'am. It's just I just know how much it's going to hurt, ma'am. That's all.
Know how much is what is going to hurt you.
The child support hit.
And you do understand that, Mom, are you working?
No, ma'am.
Why aren't you working? Why aren't you working?
I just don't work.
You don't want to work, but you think that he is solely responsible for taking care of your 1-year-old?
Well, she lives with me, so I take
Excuse
care.
me, I was talking. She does live with you. Yes, she does live with you. And he will be obligated to pay child support because of that. But you also need to be working too.
This is where the dynamic of the case shifts slightly. While the father worries about the financial burden of child support, the judge turns to the mother and asks a very direct question: why isn't she working? Her answer suggests she simply doesn't work right now. The judge reminds her that while the father does have a legal obligation to support his child, parenting responsibility isn't meant to fall entirely on one person. Courts often expect both parents to contribute, either financially or through effort to provide stability for the child.
So are you gonna come back in here next time with some proof of looking for a job?
Oh, yes, ma'am, I will, and I'm currently pregnant again. So we might
Your
look
Honor,
for
that is not my child.
Oh, that was my next question, but
I ain't touched her in like almost a year.
okay, that is good information to know.
Wouldn't
That
touch her.
is not born is not a child within existence at this moment, so therefore child support can be determined anyway.
We'll be back though.
You'll be back for
We'll be
that
back.
child. Okay, well when you return, we will discuss
somebody
that
else.
child.
With you. We'll be back with you.
Well, sir, just make sure you to get a DNA test.
Oh, really?
Yes, you have a right to get a DNA test on that child that she's pregnant with, just to make sure if she does bring you back, that if it's not your child, you won't be placed on child support.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you understand that?
What is your child?
Then comes the unexpected twist. The mother reveals that she's pregnant again, immediately prompting the father to deny the child could possibly be his. This introduces a new layer of tension in the courtroom. Legally, however, the judge makes it clear that the court cannot determine child support for a child that hasn't been born yet. The father is reminded that once the baby is born, he has the right to request a DNA test to confirm paternity. Until then, the court must focus strictly on the child that already exists in this case.
Right to get some sort of health insurance plan for your child. However, for today, you're going to have to reimburse that money to Medicaid. So what I'll have to do is I'm going to take 9% of your gross, that $2,160 amount. 9% of that is $194.40. Now, if you are able to find some health insurance that's cheaper than that, that would be great. You have the right to do that. And when that does happen, you can come back to court and we can make the change, okay? But as of today, that's the number. Then you're going to pay, your child support obligation is $380.72, as that you pay back pay since the day that the child was born. You know what that means, right?
No, ma'am.
So pretty much that $380 amount, you're going to be responsible for paying that for the past 12 months. Yeah. You're looking real confused right now.
Not confused, concerned, ma'am. That's all.
Well, okay, so up until this point, you have not been giving her any type of financial support for your child. Isn't that correct? It's a yes or no.
I have, ma'am, but I can't prove it because it's always been cash. I've always.
So the answer is no.
Yes, ma'am.
Because if you've given her cash, that's a gift, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So the back pay that she requested for the past 12 months would bring your back pay, is also known as retroactive child support, $6,006 a month. So your new child support obligation is going to be $480.72 a month. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you all have any further questions or anything? Any concerns you want to bring to the attention of the court?
No, ma'am.
Anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
After reviewing the father's income and the legal guidelines, the judge calculates the official child support order. Based on his wages and work hours, he will pay around $380 per month for ongoing support, along with reimbursement related to the child's Medicaid coverage. Because he hadn't been making documented payments during the child's first year, the court also orders retroactive child support totaling $6,600, which he will repay through additional monthly payments. In the end, the judge's ruling focuses on one priority, making sure the child is financially supported. But what do you think about this decision? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more powerful courtroom stories.
Now in session, Judge, this is the case of Sanchez.
Thank you. You all may be seated. Okay. Ms. Sanchez, you brought this case before the court. What's
Yes.
going on?
Yes, I'm here to get child support. We have an adopted son.
Okay. How old is your adopted son?
He's 16.
Okay.
And I've been taking care of him by myself for probably the last 6 years.
Okay.
And he's getting, it's where things are at late in life. And because I couldn't have children, and so Mr. Sanchez thought that we should adopt. But several years ago, he also decided that he should have a secretarial person in his life, so to speak.
What do you mean by that?
He had an affair with his secretary.
Oh, okay.
Son by myself.
When you say that you're raising him by yourself, he's not giving you any type of support?
No, ma'am.
Do you know if he has any money?
I know he does. I know that his parents just recently passed away, and they had a big farm, and they had a lot of land, and they had a...
All right, everyone. This case begins with a situation that family courts see far too often. One parent claiming they've been left to carry the entire burden of raising a child alone. Ms. Sanchez explains that she and her husband adopted a son together, but after an affair ended their relationship, she says she's been raising that child completely by herself for the past 6 years. Now the father seems reluctant to provide financial support, even though the child is legally his responsibility. And when inheritance, farmland, and thousands of dollars in assets enter the conversation, the judge immediately realizes this case isn't just about parenting, it's about accountability. So the real question becomes, if you legally adopt a child, can you later walk away from financial responsibility simply because the child isn't biologically yours?
Bunch of cows, and so I know they're worth something. And he's always had a steady job. He's worked for the government forever. And he doesn't think that he should have to pay me any child support because he said it's not his biological child. And
Wait a minute, real quick. You understand that an adopted child is...
I never said I don't take care of him.
But did you say what she just said, that, or you believe what she just said, that you don't have to take care of him because he's not biologically yours?
No, I never said that.
Oh, okay. I was hoping you were going to give me that
Absolutely
answer.
not.
Okay.
You're
Because
right.
you understand
Does
that
this
an
look like
adopted...
the face of somebody who would not take care of a child?
Well, I heard her kids, so I can't
Well,
really
it's my
accurately answer that
responsibility
question.
to take care of my child,
Okay.
even though he is adopted.
Okay. Well, even though the adoption part has nothing to do with it. And from now on, don't call him adoptive son, okay? He's your son.
That's correct.
Legally adopted, your son.
That's correct.
Okay, now I'll be back to you.
This moment is extremely important because the judge immediately corrects a major misconception about adoption. Under the law, once a child is legally adopted, that child becomes exactly the same as a biological child in terms of legal responsibility. The judge even stops the father and makes it clear that this is not an adopted son anymore. This is simply his son. That distinction matters because it removes any excuse about biology or DNA. From the court's perspective, the moment adoption papers were signed, both parents accepted full financial and legal responsibility for that child.
And he inherited a lot of land that's worth probably close to $200,000.
Okay.
And there's some cattle being run on there.
200,000. And you say he worked for the government?
He does. He works for the government, Your Honor.
So all of this money, and he hasn't given you anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay, sir, you work for the government currently, and you inherited some land, and you have cattle on that land, and you have not...
I inherited 10 acres. That's it. I've got 600
That's
cattle.
it? Do you know how many acres 10 acres is? Sir, some people's houses aren't even sitting on 1 acre.
Well, it depends where it is.
Okay.
Well, it's
You
not
have 10
in the
acres. How much?
City of wherever.
Is it accurate what she said, that these acres are worth almost $200,000?
160,000.
Okay, that's close to you know
Well,
what?
that's $40,000 less.
It may be, but it's what she said.
The cattle are worth 40,000.
The cattle. Okay, so to combine, that's $200,000.
Well, it sounds like it.
So you have assets and worth in excess of $200,000, and you don't want to give this woman anything for your son?
I'll give her something.
Excuse me? You'll give her something?
Yes, ma'am.
No, I'm going to...
Here the case begins shifting from emotional arguments to financial reality. The judge starts looking beyond the father's salary and examines his assets, farmland, cattle, and inherited land that could be worth close to $200,000. Many people assume child support is calculated only from a paycheck, but courts can also consider property and valuable assets when determining someone's financial ability to support their child. And once the judge sees those numbers, it becomes clear that the father's argument about not paying support is about to collapse.
Make sure that you give it to her on a consistent basis.
I'm a caseworker.
Okay.
We make very little money as a case. You do cases all the time.
Sir.
I'm a caseworker. I deal with this all the time.
Okay.
This isn't fair.
How much do you make as a caseworker? No, what's not fair is the fact that you have not given her any money, and you have assets worth $200,000, and you work an everyday job. How much money are you making on your job every day? 50,000. You know what, sir? You came in here to waste my time. No, you wait, because that is ridiculous. You're making a lot of money, and you haven't given her anything.
I take care of the child. He comes to the farm. I teach him things about how to work the land. I mean, I spend so much time with that child.
So you're teaching him a trade,
Yes,
and that
ma'am.
is excellent. However,
Yes, ma'am.
trade your responsibility of him, okay? So what I'm going to do, because your assets, although they're not income producing per se, I can still base your child support off of that. You have
Only when it's sold. It's only worth it when it's sold.
no. I can base your child support based on the assets that you have, even though they have not been.
Now the father tries to defend himself by saying he spends time with his son and teaches him how to work on the farm. And while mentorship and life lessons are valuable, the judge quickly points out something important. Teaching a child skills does not replace financial responsibility. Raising a child requires money for school activities, clothes, healthcare, and daily living expenses. So, even if the father believes he's contributing by teaching farming skills, the law still expects him to financially support his child as well.
Support of your child.
Okay. I'll support the child. Just leave me alone.
Okay, she's getting ready to leave you alone right now because I'm getting ready to bother you with these numbers, okay? So what we're going to do is calculate your child support based on, you say you make about $50,000 as a case manager, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're going to add that as worth the cattle that you have.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so they give you a gross of $90,000. A yearly, I'm sorry, of $90,000.
That's correct.
I have your gross at $7,500, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Brings your net to $5,834.63. You only have one child that's under the age of 18?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so who carries health insurance?
Policy for him for the last 6 years since he walked out the door.
You've been paying policy.
Okay.
Where are you getting the money to pay the policy?
Excuse me, sir, you will address me just because
Yes, Your
my head
Honor.
is down. Don't cut me off either.
Yes, ma'am.
You wait until I finish.
Yes, ma'am.
Just because my head is down and I'm doing something else does not mean I'm not paying attention, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
This is the moment where the judge calculates the father's actual financial capacity. Instead of looking only at his yearly salary, she combines his job income with the value of his assets, including the cattle and inherited land. That significantly increases the financial picture the court sees. In family court, judges can estimate earning ability and asset value when deciding child support. So even if the father insists his land isn't producing income yet, the court can still treat those assets as part of his overall financial strength.
I guess I have no choice, do I?
No, you don't have a choice because I just told you. So, based on your child support, I have $1,166.93, plus you're going to reimburse that $100. Your child support obligation monthly to $1,296.93.
So, since you're good at math, what does that leave me? Income for a year.
Oh, let me check. Let's see.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, you know what? What's good? That $160,000 worth of 10 acres of land, that's what you're left with. Sell it, and then maybe you'll have some money.
Well,
And you go to work every day. So $50,000 plus your $160,000 sounds like you're living a very good life at $210,000 a year. And if there are no further questions, you all are dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
take the other hearing aid out.
And with that, the judge delivers the final ruling, ordering the father to pay over $1,000 every month in child support, plus reimbursement for the child's health insurance. The decision sends a very clear message. Adoption creates the same lifelong responsibility as biological parenthood. You can't walk away from that commitment simply because circumstances change. But now the question shifts to you. Do you think the judge made the right decision in this case, or should the father's involvement on the farm have counted more toward his responsibility? Let us know your thoughts below, and if you enjoy real courtroom breakdowns like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more intense legal moments.
You all may be seated. Okay, Mr. Taylor,
Yes, ma'am.
you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Okay, so Sam and I split up a while back, but 2 months ago she moved out and left me with our darling children.
Okay.
And my 6-year-old boy is Braxton. And my 2 kids live with me. She's been out of the house for 2 months. I'm seeking 2 months of back child support and child support.
Okay. And why didn't you give him any money when you left? Obviously, if he's asking for 2 months worth of back.
All right, everyone, brace yourselves, because this case starts with a situation that many people don't expect to see in family court. A father has brought the mother of his children to court asking for child support after she moved out and left the kids living with him. 2 children, 2 very different perspectives, and a disagreement about responsibility. The father says he's been carrying the full load for the last 2 months, while the mother argues she still contributes by spending time with the kids and supporting them emotionally. But family court doesn't just run on feelings, it runs on legal responsibility. So the big question here becomes simple but powerful. When parents separate, who is legally responsible for supporting the children?
Okay.
So he's asking for money, but what he's not including is the fact that I'm a nurse. I work intense hours that are very irregular. So we decided it was best if the kids stay in his home since he has a more steady daily schedule. The kids have a day off of school or a weekend where I'm available, or any time that they need to be taken care of, they are with me or with my mother at that time. He is saving on daycare, any care like that, and I'm spending the emotional support time with them and also providing for...
Did you really need emotional support?
I don't understand what's wrong with that.
You're not paying him any money.
Spending.
This is where the first major tension appears in the courtroom. The mother explains that she's providing emotional support and spending time with the children, almost suggesting that this balances out the financial responsibility. But the judge quickly challenges that idea. In family law, emotional support is important for a child's well-being, but it does not replace financial support. Courts focus on the practical side of parenting: housing, food, clothing, school costs, and healthcare. And when one parent is covering those everyday expenses more than the other, the law usually steps in to rebalance things. So already we can see the judge steering the case toward a legal standard rather than an emotional argument.
I am not paying him. The children are with me approximately half the time. We don't have a formal agreement on that.
Approximately, but not half the time, right?
No.
Okay. So, you should be paying child support to him.
If we want to lay down the hours and really count it out, then we can. I work off, sometimes 3 days on, 2 days off.
Okay.
My schedule is very irregular.
Which means that the children are with him most of the time. So you should be paying child support.
They come to me and my mother's home a lot of the time.
Right. And I get it.
Here the judge explains one of the most important principles in family court: custodial responsibility. The parent with whom the children live most of the time is considered the custodial parent, and the other parent usually has a legal obligation to pay child support. It doesn't necessarily matter who loves the kids more or who spends weekends with them. What matters legally is who is providing the daily stability: the home, meals, transportation, and routine care. Once the mother admits the kids are living mostly with the father, the direction of this case begins to shift strongly toward the father's claim for support.
To be considered the custodial parent. And the non-custodial parent has the obligation to pay child support. That's the way that it works. You said you're a nurse. How much money do you make?
Around $80,000 a year.
Let me see. Okay, yeah, I see your check stubs here. And how much do you make?
$125,000 a year.
Okay, do you all split?
He's doing fine.
You are too. You make $80,000 a year. You're not doing fine?
I am doing fine.
Oh, okay. I mean, so you both are doing well. So those little comments, they're unnecessary. $125,000 a year.
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
all share custody like she's saying?
Yeah, they're over there every now and then.
Well, when you say every now and then,
Well, they live with.
Now the court turns to income, and this part often surprises people watching cases like this. The mother earns around $80,000 a year, while the father makes $125,000 annually. At first glance, some viewers might assume the higher earning parent should automatically be the one paying support. But that's not how child support law works. The formula considers both income and custody arrangements. Since the father is the one primarily housing the children, the financial responsibility shifts toward the mother even though she earns less. This is a good reminder that child support is designed around the children's living situation, not simply who earns the bigger paycheck.
had the obligation to do that. When you were no longer living with the children and you left them to live with him, you owe them child support. So you are going to be paying child support starting today, and you also are going to give him back 2 months worth of back pay. Okay? So, based on the documents that you turned in, I have your gross at $80,000 broken down to $6,600 and there's a lot of sixes. $6,666.67. That brings your net to $4,961.81. Make sure, and 2 children, correct?
Yes,
Who carries health insurance?
I do.
How much is health insurance?
$208 a month.
208, okay. So you're also going to be reimbursing that to him every month.
This is the moment where the judge applies the law directly and makes the ruling clear. Because the children live with the father the majority of the time, the mother is legally classified as the non-custodial parent. That means she must contribute financially to support the children. The judge orders monthly child support payments and also requires her to pay back the 2 months of support that were missed after she moved out. Importantly, the judge isn't taking sides emotionally here. She's applying a standardized calculation designed to ensure the children's needs are covered consistently.
For the health insurance, $1,448.45. And then your back pay, you're just going to pay that out monthly, adding in, I'd say about $50 a month added into that as well. So do you understand that?
Okay, is there a set time? I mean, I guess until the back pay is completed?
Yes, when
at
the
whatever
back
rate works.
Right. When the back pay is completed, that $50 will drop off.
Okay.
You know, you can pay the full amount. I mean, if you want to, it's about $2,480. You can pay it in one lump sum if you want to. Pay it out over like $50. $50 really doesn't cover a lot of the interest, but I mean, that's the lowest.
Monthly amount to be lower. I understand that.
Okay.
We can take care of it however you decree.
Okay. So do you all have any other issues or anything needing addressing today?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So by the end of this hearing, the court arrives at a structured financial order based on income and custody. The judge calculates the mother's earnings, includes reimbursement for the children's health insurance, and sets the monthly support payment at $4,248.45, along with repayment of the missed support from the previous 2 months. Cases like this show how family courts focus on stability for the children above everything else. Even when both parents are involved in their kids' lives, the law still requires the non-custodial parent to share the financial responsibility. But now we want to hear from you. Do you think the judge made the right decision in this case? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoy real courtroom stories like this, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more dramatic legal moments.
Judge Vonda B, court is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1017, Allen case. Judge, both parties have been sworn.
Thank you. You all may be seated. Okay, Mrs. Allen or Miss Allen?
It's Mrs. still.
Mrs. Okay. You brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, my husband and I have been separated for 5 months, and now I have filed for divorce. He has started seeing someone else, and I would like back pay for our son. He is 12 years old.
Okay. Do you want?
All right, everyone. This case begins like a typical divorce dispute, but it quickly reveals a deeper conflict about responsibility, money, and personal choices. A couple has been separated for 5 months, and now the wife is asking the court to order child support and even back pay for their 12-year-old son. The husband insists he has already been sending money every month, but the question the judge must answer is simple. Was that amount actually enough under the law? As the judge starts examining the payments, income, and circumstances behind their separation, what seems like a simple family disagreement slowly turns into a serious financial calculation that could change the father's obligations moving forward.
On back pay because he's seeing someone else?
Well, because he is supporting somebody else. He's no longer in our home, and I would like to have back pay and start paying child support for our son. So he is living with me.
Okay. I just want to make sure you want back pay for the child, right? Not necessarily because he's moved on.
Yes.
Okay. Since he left, has he given you any type of support?
Yes.
Okay. How much?
About
600.
600 each month?
Money orders every month, ma'am.
Okay, money orders? Okay, good.
Right here, the judge makes an important distinction that many people misunderstand in family court. The wife mentions that her husband started seeing someone else, which clearly adds emotional tension to the case. But legally, the judge must separate feelings from facts. Child support isn't decided based on who moved on after a separation or who hurt whose feelings. It's determined by income and the needs of the child. The court's only concern is making sure the child receives proper financial support, regardless of what happened in the marriage. And this moment shows how quickly family court shifts from personal drama to legal responsibility.
And it looks like you turned those in to me. Okay. So you want child support and back pay?
Yes.
Okay. And what do you have to say about that?
I don't think I need to give back pay. It's like we just had mentioned. I've been giving her $600 every month in money orders. Plus I take care of the insurance.
Okay, and how much is the insurance exactly?
Insurance is
Many people come to court with their documents, so that's good. So about this significant other, do you believe that that's the reason you're being brought to court now?
Yes, completely.
Okay, is there a story behind that? Like, did they have an argument, a disagreement?
Well, they don't like each other.
I mean, obviously.
Well, thing is that she's a yoga instructor.
Okay.
And she works, she does her yoga. And
So you know her?
Knew her.
You knew her?
Yes.
Were you guys friends?
She was an acquaintance that I'd help her, took her under my wing. She's younger, she's 20 years younger than me.
You're mad about that?
I'm not happy about it. I mean, wouldn't you be? I mean, what do you expect, you know?
Well, me personally, you know, this has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, this caught me off guard. I do focus myself.
Now the emotional side of this story becomes much clearer. The husband admits that the woman he is now dating used to be a student of his wife's yoga class. Suddenly, the tension in the courtroom makes more sense. For the wife, this situation likely feels like both a betrayal and a humiliation. But once again, the judge keeps the conversation focused on the legal issue at hand. While personal relationships can create powerful emotions, the court's job isn't to judge people's romantic decisions. It's to determine whether the child is receiving the correct level of financial support according to the law.
that's the reason why we're having issues now.
Okay. And that's the reason, obviously, why you guys are split and you're with someone else?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Based on your financial documents that you provided, it looks like you own an accounting firm. You make about $85,000 a year?
Correct.
Okay. Who covers that?
I do.
How much is that?
$109 a month.
Okay. So what we are going to do is calculate your child support. And the way that it works is if there is a difference, then the back pay would be, what you've already paid would be a credit towards that. So you wouldn't necessarily get the full amount of what.
At this stage, the case moves from emotional arguments to strict financial analysis. The judge reviews the father's income documents and confirms that he earns about $85,000 a year running an accounting firm. In family court, child support is usually calculated using a formula that considers income, expenses, and things like health insurance for the child. Even though the father believed the $600 he was sending each month was reasonable, the judge now has to determine whether that amount actually matches what the legal guidelines require based on his earnings.
$493.29. And I gave you credit for your medical, the $109 that you carry for the child, and that's for the child only, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I gave you credit for that. So that brings your child support obligation, well, not the full amount, but it's $1,098.60, okay? $1,098. Back pay comes out to $5,493. Giving you credit for what you've paid. You said $600?
Yes.
Okay, so $600 times 5 for the past 5 months will be $3,000. That's what you get a credit for. So when you apply the credit to that's remaining for back pay. So the way that we kind of make sure you pay that over time, you want to cover the interest on the amount each month.
Okay.
So you can do
About $149 would be interest if you do like 6% interest every month, which is what the state is entitled to. So about $150 a month would cover the interest, and you would add that to the monthly child support.
This is the turning point of the case. After running the official calculation, the judge determines that the father's child support obligation should actually be $1,098 per month, significantly higher than the $600 he had been paying voluntarily. However, the court also recognizes the payments he already made. Instead of ignoring them, the judge gives him full credit for the $3,000 he sent over the past 5 months. After subtracting those payments from the total owed, the remaining back pay comes out to about $2,493, which the father will repay gradually, along with his new monthly obligation.
So that will make your full monthly child support obligation of $1,248.
Okay, but
And once that $2,493 is paid in full, the amount will go back down to the $1,098.60.
But why do I need to pay back pay?
I mean, I've been giving her money. I think the 600 was.
But your child support obligation based on what you make comes out to about $400 more than that. So you were short. Had you been giving her $1,000 a month, it would have probably covered it minus maybe $100 or something like that. But yeah, that's the reason why you have back pay. Oh, okay. Do you all have any other questions? Anything else we need to discuss here today? Okay, well, if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed. You're welcome.
In the end, this case highlights how family court decisions often come down to financial guidelines rather than personal emotions. Even though the father had been making payments and believed he was doing enough, the court determined that based on his income, the legal obligation had to be higher. The judge's ruling ensures that the child receives the level of support the law requires. But what do you think about this decision? Was the father already doing his part, or was the judge right to increase the payments? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more real courtroom breakdowns like this one.